Yeah.
You're terrible.
Marry me.
So we're supposed to try to take a thumbnail, and he's there making goofy photos.
Did you send this out to anyone that we're going live?
I put it on Facebook and I put it on YouTube.
Good. Hey, good stuff.
See, I'm getting better.
Did you send it to people?
What do you mean?
Like people we know. The first. If you're on your phone, comment so we know you're there.
Yeah.
It could be a bot. Even so, we still accept the support.
Yeah, and please let us know if you're married. Or if you're like what level of relationship you're in.
There's levels.
Yes, like you're
like Pokemon.
Yes, like Pokemon. Did you catch them all?
Did you evolve into a married person? Oh man.
Yes.
These stupid glasses look horrible. Okay.
No you glasses. Look good with it.
I can't see my own eyes, and it's like I kind of feel like those anime characters where like they discover something and it's like shing, they look in the light in the eyes. See? Like, I'm so goofy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see that?
You can see yourself.
That's nerdy.
Aw.
I'll be okay. I'll be blind.
You'll be fine.
You'll still love me.
All right. So, how to keep a marriage alive?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. First thing is try not to kill it.
Yeah, try not to kill your spouse. That's the way to start.
For men and women, try not to kill them. But I get funny though. Like I think I know for us coming into being married, like I knew without a shadow of a doubt, like when it comes to being married, it all depends on like what your foundations are and if your absolutes are equal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like me and Rachel had our difficulties early on. And we'll get into that a little bit, but our absolute was always God.
Yeah.
Always. And no matter how bad it got for us, we came back to that and we were always able to build from that. And that really makes a big point. So that's why it's really important for men and women to, from the beginning, to be honest about like who they are, because you have to see those absolutes are there. And I mean, I'm being biased, but I think the only way to have a truly successful marriage is if it's God-centered. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, you have to have like the same type of foundation. Like you have to have the same type of values to begin with. And if you don't, then that makes it much harder. I think what is our challenge in our generation is you could just fix it. Like that mentality of like,
it's like a thing.
Yeah. Like I know, like from my YouTube channel, everything is about my hair, and so much people, I mean, they have really good intentions, but the solution is you could fix it. If you have like told me so many things along the lines like that, like you could always fix it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with relationships. If you're not happy, you could leave. It's kind of like everyone is always like, you could just take what you have, throw it on your bus, and get something else and get something better. But you don't really know what that better is. And it's really, truly not better.
Kevin, so I was listening to Kevin Samuels because I really like some of the things he talks about. I know you have your opinions, but I think for men,
I didn't listen to him.
I'll say for me, just coming from where I come from, his perspective on things is like, and it just helped me in my personal growth. But he was just talking about like it just, you can get another one. Like a lot of people, and men do this, but women do this too. And I think for women, it's more of a detriment to be like, oh, just drop it and whatever. You know what I mean? Where you and me, it was kind of like, well, if we're going to commit time to each other, we need to both know if marriage is the thing we're looking for. I think, and we talked about that, like, I think early in the courting, like we were young when we got married. I was 20. I turned 23 before we got married. I moved down to Pennsylvania. I was 22.
Yeah, but I'm saying that now it's like so like it's just so easy for everyone just to be like, yeah, just drop that relationship or just get a new relationship. Yeah. And people don't understand how
glasses look sus.
How much ending a relationship is absolutely devastating to you. Yeah, both of you. It's completely devastating. And you find true love one time in your life, you are truly blessed, honestly. And if that happened to you twice, that is just I'm serious. Yeah. It's damn near impossible, to find it 2 times. Yeah. I don't think I would ever find like anybody else who was like,
you're right.
No, I'm so serious. Like, because it is truly rare, and that people don't understand that if you have someone who's willing to put up with your crap, accept it, because that is love in my definition. When I was like a child, that was my definition of love. Like, okay, he could put up with my crap and I could take his.
When we were younger, so let's say I think one of the big marriages like have the same foundations, and I will say, this kind of go into some difficult parts of marriage, but I think the only way I could really talk about us is with going into that. I genuinely still love my wife early on in our relationship. I didn't know that I had like issues. I didn't don't laugh. I didn't know that I had like things I need to deal with. And that's another big thing. And I'm talking for men. I don't think women realize like women, it's kind of commonly accepted that women can have their things that they struggle with, especially if there's history of abuse and trauma that they bring into relationships. In the same token, especially in this generation of these kids coming from parents who were like, if you were a little kid in the 90s and you're an adult now, you might have a lot of problems. And, before me and Rachel got married and we moved in together, I had lived life a certain type of way, almost as a character, thinking that that's just how you go through life, because it wasn't a bad thing. It was more so me having a hard time accepting that someone genuinely loved me, and not because I was doing good things or this and that. And it was hard for me to accept. And it wound up becoming like a big problem only because I couldn't accept the good. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. And it definitely cost us and caused us a lot of friction. But the fact that our absolute was still the same kept us together.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is that. No, I'm okay. Are you hot? Yeah. I think a lot of it is that when you are dating people and you're young and you have a lot of relationships, I think that takes a toll on you. Every single relationship you take, right? You add baggage to yourself. You're adding an experience that is gonna trigger you in some sort of way. Which is why I think don't date. I think like just court as much as possible, no physical contact, but you get the opportunity to really feel the court, to like talk to everybody.
But no, I mean, that's like I'm not saying your point is not good, but there's even more to that point, because it's more so that like, not only are you having like just conversations with people, but what'll happen, and what I do genuinely believe, is that if a man is interested in you, because I'm assuming we're talking to predominantly women, but if a man is interested in you, they'll make that move.
Yeah, they
will.
And
if it's a courting situation and they're not gonna get access to you sexually, and it's courting and they still pursue you, then you're getting other context to who this person is.
Yeah.
And because there's no physical attachment yet, you're able to actually, okay, well, this is this person's way of being. I really respect that. You know what I mean? And then commitment, or like kind of like in sales, they have like a yes ladder. I think when you're courting, you get a commitment ladder. Because at first you're courting and like, okay, hey, we're talking to each other, but we both know we're just talking to each other. At some point when you're courting, you kind of want to be like, listen, it's too soon for us to get married, but I don't want you talking
out in like a relationship,
dating so many people,
dating. You're dating someone for 10 years, or you're in. No, I'm so serious.
Oh, I know. I think that's a hot mess though.
Or like, you go from relationship to relationship. You get emotionally burnt out. So when you hit that marriage point, you don't got time for this. You don't got that like you don't have that energy anymore that you need to have with that individual. You don't have that patience it's like gone already. You're burned up. You're tired of it.
And to bungee off at that point, that was partially my issue coming into our relationship, because it wasn't because of because every person I dated before you was a girl. You're a woman. I'm saying you're a grown woman. That's what I'm saying. It's different. But what I'm saying, like a girl, like you, like I was a kid, you know?
Oh yeah, you were young.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, because of like the things I dealt with in my childhood, my that patience, and that understanding that I need to be here to help you was worn way out.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know until I started like, whoa, this is a problem. So tough to see what you're willing to accept. I think the biggest factor is also to look inside and be honest. You know?
Yeah, to be honest. But I feel like a lot of it is you're entering into a marriage already burnt out. Yeah. And then you have this idea that you could just get out. Like if if you are entering into a marriage thinking that divorce is an option, then don't get married. If you actually read the marriage vows, if you're Christian, it's not light.
Lock it up.
It is like it is a death sentence. It is. It's like for better, for worse, for richer, till death do us part.
Death. Like you said, death, man. Caribbean.
That's a death sentence. So it's like, are you sure you could like take a bullet for this person or like endure for like the rest of your life?
Yeah.
You know, and I feel
take it seriously.
Yeah. If you it's all about your mindset. Now,
do you think popular culture? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You think but I think, and you guys and the who's listening, please interact. Maybe they are. We just can't. Just entertainment, like the marriage that people are thinking about, just the wedding.
Yeah, I feel like people are just concerned about the wedding, and what do you do after the honeymoon phase is over? So yeah, let's talk about that. The honeymoon phase. You get that realization that, I don't know, what was something that came up that was a problem that for you in particular? And it's okay, you can be honest.
Okay, it would honestly, and this is just going back to some of the issues I had earlier. Affection. I of course I loved you and I liked, being with you, but it was weird. It was just like, I don't know, because remember, things started coming up in me that I understand now, but didn't understand then. That like you were so affectionate. You know what I mean? And then I got to realize, like, okay, so the way I thought life was, though I had success and I've been able to get to this point, wasn't altogether normal.
Okay, so like here's more of a general thing. How do you deal with someone now experience? How do you keep a marriage alive when tough.
They're dealing with stuff.
I didn't know that he had all this baggage, I didn't sign up for it.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, like I said, it'd be easy to be, well, I didn't know this about you when I married.
Peace. I know. Rachel told me when I asked her out, she said, I got a lot of baggage. I was like, it's okay.
Aww.
I still accept you. Like, what? But I get it. And with all the things she's been through in her life, I understood.
Yeah. And then life gets more, the thing is, it's not just your relationship with your spouse. When you are older, things get so much more complicated. Your career, bills, children, and you compiling all that stuff now with marriage, right? And then you have a spouse now who's dealing with unresolved issue. And that unresolved issue seeps into your relationship. It seeps into every aspect of your household and the way you interact with your kids and, how you manage your finances. I
think that one of the cores of it is that when you commit to a marriage, you got to know that you're committing to the marriage. So it's going to be good and bad. And it's kind of like the Christian walk. Is that, I was listening to a really powerful sermon. I sent it to you. about the book of Romans, and it's saying how, like, the all creation suffers, until like the redemption of the sons of God. Meaning, like, just because of the world we live in, the variableness that there's good things and bad things can happen, and you have to be willing to endure it, because marriage is not a natural human thing. It's not a fleshy thing. It's supernatural. If you really think about it, that you're choosing without any knowledge of the future to commit to one person.
Yeah.
It's not natural. It's a very faith-based and divinely ordained thing. And I think people don't approach it with God in mind. I think that's why you have marriages that struggle. Everyone has difficulties. Like, one popular thing is that, in popular, women are always right and men are wrong.
Yeah.
But in marriage, you can't
think like that.
Can't think like that. And the same token, men can't all men are just like this. You can't, because when I see Rachel, she's a part of me. It's no longer men, women versus that I can grow in, and vice versa. That way, it takes a level of humility to accept that, because Rachel has together, and I'm learning new steps of her perspectives in me, and the same for her.
Yeah. I tell you, when I was younger, I was scared to get married young, because you don't know if this individual is going to change. And there's no way to guarantee that you're going to marry this person. And so many in the church, they get married to someone who is a church member, and then all of a sudden that guy doesn't want to be in church anymore, and a guy starts drinking and changes his whole behavior, and or just there's, even for women, we go through our stuff too. It's like, and all of a sudden we want to relive some teenage dream that we had. And I'm so serious. It's like, there is no guarantee that this person is going to be you're 30 now. Like, he could have been like anybody by 30. Like, literally, that's such a gamble, right? But
so right now you better redeem them points, girl.
It is a gamble. I took a risk on you.
All right, chill. I'll take a risk on you too.
Thank you. I know.
All right, but I
could have turned out bad.
Yeah, you could have.
It could have not worked out. Okay, so how do you keep a marriage alive, right? I would be honest with you. It's a part-time job. It is not easy. And a lot of people think that a relationship is just there. Like, there has to be that there's no work involved, that, you're just going to be happy and content just being married. But the reality is, like, when you're dating, right, there's a lot of things that you're looking for in a guy. Oh, he has to take me out. Oh, he has to do this. Oh, he has to do that. Right. And then after marriage, a lot of those expectations go away. It's like, oh, we're married now, so we don't have to date. We don't have to, do anything, yeah. So it's like, we let all that is a really bad idea. I think that goes downhill really quickly.
Yeah, you still date, you still do cute things for each other. Like, you still, I hope that doesn't, no, leave it alone. Go away.
No, the battery isn't plugged in.
Oh. Well, since she's gone now, the real show can start.